We were screaming down Mulholland Drive in a lime green Porsche Carrera. I don't know what the speed limit was, but there was palm trees. The sun was shining. The sky was so blue. There I was in the passenger seat sitting next to Peter Facinelli, Dr. Carlisle Cullen, my movie producing partner. We pull up to Mann's Chinese Theater. It's amazing. There's light bulbs popping, cameras clicking, and we're there because the Oscars are this night. And The Unbreakable Boy was nominated for Film of the Year for an Oscar. Paparazzi everywhere. Austin, Teresa, Logan, they were all inside waiting on us. It was just insane. Well, I saw every second of this in my brain. I envisioned every single moment that was happening. I could smell the ocean. I could see the sand, just this powdery soft sand. And in my mind, that is the power of visualization. It's real, and it's been my secret weapon all along. Hey, friends, welcome to the Green Pants Podcast. I'm Scott Lorette, your host, and I'm thrilled to be here. It's something that I've been wanting to talk about, and I wanted to make this episode from day one because it is my secret weapon, and it's something that everybody can have. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to buy it. No one gives it to you. You are born with it. You just have to use it. And here's the deal though. I've been a daydreamer all my life, ever since I was a little kid. I'm not talking about dreaming at night. I'm talking daydreaming. I'm always lost in my thoughts. To this day, I still do it. I think it's probably one of the reasons why I have such trouble sleeping at night. I can't. My motor just will not shut off. And it's always been an issue for me. But I've always been kidded about it. All these grandiose dreams and ideas that I've always had. But here we are today. You see, I've got some science here behind visualization and dreaming because they're very different. Visualization is deliberate. Daydreaming is passive. It's seeing something before it happens and believing it can, right? Now, I have to say though, the proof of concept, the Oscars. Well, this past February, we pulled up to the AMC Lincoln Square in Manhattan. They weren't Porsches, but they were big, shiny, black Lincoln Navigators. There were paparazzi and cameras, light bulb flashing, strobes flashing, and people yelling and screaming. And we walk in, and there's the red carpet. And Peter, my partner, is there. And everybody, the entire cast, my friends, my family, some of my closest friends. And it was pretty amazing. You see, I saw that. I did. And whether I'm talking about my book, my movie, this podcast, it doesn't matter. I did. I saw it in my mind's eye all the way through. As I've said before, I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew what I was working towards and going towards, always forward. I just knew. I knew the only way I fail is if I quit. So I kept moving forward. Now, there's science behind this, as I mentioned, and I want to just share some of that because I think it's fascinating. And with daydreaming, there's such a thing called the default mode network. And what happens, daydreaming activates the DMN, a network of brain regions responsible for introspection, future planning, memory recall, and imagination. The brain rehearses future events. It sparks creativity and innovative thinking. And it also enhances problem solving by thinking beyond logic. One final thing about visualization compared to daydreaming. Unlike visualization, which builds toward action with focus, daydreaming opens the door to new ideas, reframes old stories, and often reveals what truly matters. Now, on the other hand, visualization, and see, that's the thing though, I guess you could call this a dual-edged secret weapon. But visualization is the practice of creating vivid mental images of desired outcome, experience, or action. It's also called mental rehearsal or imagery. Visualizing success with emotion codes the experience deeper into the brain. So visualization rewires your brain. Why do you think Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps, Serena Williams, Tony Robbins, and me, why do you think they all practice visualization? There was a few years ago a major study done at Cleveland Clinic, which is one of the most well-respected teaching institutions, medical institutions in the world. And they found that those folks that concentrated on bicep curls as a lifting exercise with no weights compared to the group that lifted, well, the folks that just focused on visualizing bicep curls increased their strength by 13.5%. It works. It works. Here are the benefits of visualization. It builds confidence and focus. It reduces anxiety. It enhances motivation and performance. Trains the brain and body to expect success. So I'm kind of blown away because I started out as a kid and it was daydreaming. And I think the evolution for daydreaming is visualization. I think they work hand in hand. They both rewire the brain. The act of imagination in daydreaming is so important, especially as a child, but even as you grow older, because I still, to this day, I haven't really detailed my buddy Joe, but that's coming up in an episode very soon. Because that's, I think, the ultimate imagination. But it manifests into what I have today, which is visualization, which I call my secret weapon. You don't need to go buy it. You can just do it today. So that's the science. But as a Christian, there are parts of this that I take into account as well. And there's actually two pieces of literature, scripture. The first is Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That's visualization. You're seeing with eyes of faith, you're believing before the evidence shows up. And that's also like, I know the Jeremy Camp song, but it's 2 Corinthians 5:7, walk by faith, not by sight. I like that because I don't know if you have a higher power, whatever. I don't know if you're Christian. I don't know if you're atheist. I don't know if you're agnostic. I welcome all. But I think a lot of people can have faith, though, in something. And people ask, well, how can you believe or think that faith is real? And I get that because, as it says, faith is the belief in something where the evidence isn't right there in front of you, basically. So I think it's more than blind faith. I think faith is powerful, just like grace is. So you're seeing with eyes of faith. We were, and this takes me back because we were in church several years ago, probably 15 years ago. I think that's what it was, 15 years ago. And we're all, it's Logan, Teresa, and then me, and then Austin's on my right. And there's a time of prayer. And for some reason, I'm wont to do, I'll bow my head, but I'll keep my eyes open. I don't know why. When I pray at church, I'll bow my head, and then it's I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but I'll bow my head and I will keep my eyes open. And I'm sitting there during a prayer, and Austin he does one of these. He elbows me in the ribs, and Austin's not very subtle, but then he leans over. I'll lean in here. He leans over and he says, "Dad, you can't see God unless you close your eyes." I don't even know what to make of that. You can't see God unless you close your eyes. This all snowballs into so much more than just a secret weapon. I get it. I don't take for granted some of the things that have happened to me and my family. All the heartache and all the tragedy and all the broken bones and the heart surgeries and autism, all these different things, they just pale in comparison to the joy and the craziness and that we've been blessed with. A best-selling book, an award-winning major motion picture. It's crazy. It is. And what I'm saying, though, is that I think when you're dreaming, when you're looking for that purpose, when you're looking for that why, when you're looking for whatever it is you're looking for, visualization is one thing you can do. I think sometimes you just got to get out of your way. Let me share this example. There's a good friend of mine. He's actually a speaker that speaks all over the world, and he's the best speaker I've probably ever heard. And he shared something one time, and I told him I was going to use it, and he said, no problem. But it's this analogy. If you think about it, imagine you're in coach, which I usually am, on an airplane. Occasionally I'll get a window seat, but I actually prefer the aisle. But for all intents and purposes, this is just an analogy. So I'm in a window seat. You look out, and 35,000 feet, give or take, 36,000 feet, 5 miles up in the air, maybe you're seeing the Grand Canyon. Maybe you're seeing the Rocky Mountains, whatever. But the thing is, you're seeing all those things go by. But he posits, Teresa would laugh at me for saying that. But the point, why are the pilots up in the front? Why are they up in the cockpit looking forward? Because when you're in steerage, to use a Titanic reference, all you're seeing are things go past you. The guys up front, they can see the mountain that they've got to navigate around so they don't hit it. They see where they're going. So in episode 1, I said, you got to say it about your dream, your purpose, your why. You got to say it. You got to say it out loud. You got to say it to someone. You got to tell someone, whatever. You got to say it out loud. Now, you got to see it. You got to see it to see it. That's visualization right there. You don't have to wait to start. Visualization costs nothing. Doesn't require permission. You just need to start. As I've always said when people ask me about how, hey, I want to write a book, what should I do? I'm just like, just begin. Just start. Write a word. Get the first page, put your name on it and the date. You don't have to put the date, but put the name of your book, put the name of your story, and there you started. You got 1 page of your book done. Just start. Put one foot in front of the other. Don't go backwards. Always go forward. Sometimes you just have to say, say it out loud. See it, envision it. And let me back up though. When you see it though, write it down maybe in vivid detail, in colors, and imagine the textures because I did that. I have that written down from years ago about the scene with the Porsche in Mulholland Drive and Peter from years ago. We've known each other, I don't know how many years now, but almost a decade, which is kind of crazy. But I wrote this years ago. I've got this vivid mental picture of it happening. And although it didn't happen in the Porsche, which would have been really cool, it happened. And the same thing, though, I did that same exercise when I was trying to get a literary agent, etc., etc. Sometimes you just have to close your eyes to finally see what matters most. Close your eyes to finally see what matters most. Put on the pants, suit up, let's do this. I'm having so much fun doing this. I really am. I've got so much more to share. Episode 4 is on adversity. That might be a tough one because it hits hard. It hits hard. I want to also come down on a name for us, the Green Pants Crew, the Green Pants Brigade, the Green Pants. I don't know. Help me out. Put in the comments what you want to do. Subscribe, hit like, all those things that they say you're supposed to do. I'm sure that I will get my mojo down as I'm going forward. This is fun. If you want to critique me, please do. But as I said, put the pants on and let's do this. God bless.